host of the Gridiron.
They've added some coaches without question. Now, some of them, they're going to be like kind of low down on the totem pole. You're not even going to like ever hear from them. They're never going to speak to the media or nothing like that. But the Giants, they brought in some guys, right? Obviously, Brown was one of them. Brown could want to be, he's not going to be the offensive coordinator, right? He's not the defensive coordinator or something like that. So he's not going to have a huge hand in, but, he could be one of those sneaky kind of guys, right? Well, all of a sudden, maybe, right? You look up next year and Wandell's averaging 11 yards of reception. It's like, that's pretty good. I think it was like 7.80 average this past season or something. It was just like, a lot of catches. It's not a lot of yards. But if anybody can, maybe get him a little bit, get him some extra yards per reception, might be Mr. Brown. But the Giants, they brought in some, where we at there? All right, they announced. Giants announced additions to the 2025 staff. All right. So they got Manuel is the new secondary coach, defensive pass game coordinator. Jeff Burris will coach the cornerbacks. Right? Chad Hall, who we just talked about, will serve as the assistant quarterback coach. Of course, Troy Brown will be an offensive assistant as part of the NFL Minority Coaching Fellowship. Steve Ferentz and Grant Morgan have been hired as defensive assistants. Giants also added 3 new members to the Strength and Conditioning Performance Department under Aaron Wellman. The Executive Director of Player Performance, Dr. Matthew Frakes, will be the Director of Performance Nutrition, and Chris Allen and Mark Naylor have been brought on as assistant strength and coordinating coaches. In addition, Drew Wilson has been promoted to Director of Strength and Conditioning. All right, so we got Manuel. Spent the 4 seasons as the Jets defensive back safeties coach. Has been in the NFL for 2 decades as a player and a coach, earning trips to the Super Bowl as both. Prior to joining the Jets, Manuel served as the defensive back coach for the Eagles in 2020 and 4 seasons in Atlanta versus the secondary coach, senior defensive assistant, before being promoted to the defensive coordinator in 2017 and 2018. In his first season as a coordinator in 2017, the defense ranked in the top 10 in scoring defense, 8th, total defense, 9th, rushing defense, 9th, and red zone defense, 5th. First NFL position came in Seattle as a special teams assistant in 2012, before serving as defensive assistant in 2013 and assistant secondary coach in 2014. In his 3 seasons with the Seahawks, the team advanced to 2 Super Bowls, earning a victory in the Super Bowl. While the defense allowed the fewest passing yards per game in 2014, a 6th-round pick in 2002 NFL draft out of Florida. Manuel played with 6 teams in 8 seasons. So we just talked about Brown, that he just brought in. Then Burris served as a co-defensive coordinator, safeties coach for Louisiana Tech last season. A first-round selection in 1994 NFL draft and a former All-American safety at Notre Dame, Burris returned to Louisiana Tech after a 3-year stint as cornerbacks coach at Louisiana Lafayette. During his first stint with Louisiana Tech, Burris coached defensive backs Jarius Sneed and Amik Robertson, who were selected with back-to-back picks in the 4th round of the 2020 NFL Draft by the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders, respectively. He spent the 2017 season on the Northern Iowa football coaching staff, coaching the cornerbacks for the Panthers. 2016, he returned to Notre Dame as a senior defensive analyst after 3 seasons as the assistant defensive back coach with the Dolphins. Then Ferentz most recently coached outside linebackers at the University of South Dakota following 3 seasons with the Dolphins, where he was an assistant linebacker coach. Played tight end and offensive line for the University of Iowa from 2012 to 2016. He was the youngest child of Mary and Kirk Ferentz, the head coach of Iowa. His brother James is the Giants' assistant offensive line coach. Hall. Here we go. Finished his second season as a wide receivers coach for the Jaguars and his sixth season as a wide receivers coach in the NFL. Spent 6 seasons on the Buffalo Bills staff from 2017 to 2022. So there's familiarity there with Hall, with Daboll, and Shane, right? Obviously, he overlapped with Daboll as an offensive coordinator. Joe Shane is the assistant general manager at the time. Hall was in charge of the wide receiver room for 4 years after being promoted from the offensive assistant in 2019. 2021, he helped Stephon Diggs be selected to his second consecutive Pro Bowl and become the first Bill with 100-plus receptions in consecutive seasons. Diggs set an NFL record for receptions in a player's first 2 seasons with the team, 230. Whew. Of course, doesn't hurt that he had Josh Allen as his quarterback either. Right? Under Hall, Gabriel Davis also set an NFL playoff record by catching 4 touchdowns. Oversaw a receivers room in 2020 that took the Buffalo offense to new heights, helping both Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley earn All-Pro honors. Diggs set franchise records and led the NFL with 127 receptions for 1,535 yards on the season. Hall played wide receiver for the Eagles, 49ers, the Chiefs. In college, Hall played running back at the United States Air Force Academy for 3 years. He was the only player in the country to lead his team in rushing and receiving during his senior season. Wow. Then Morgan, former Arkansas All-American Grant Morgan, comes off his first season as an assistant linebacker coach at Illinois. He helped the Illini to a 10-3 record, tying the program's single-season mark for most victories. Entered the coaching profession after finishing his playing career at Arkansas in 2021 and spending the 2022 season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dr. Frakes joined the LSU as an assistant athletic director of sports nutrition in December of 2021. He led the LSU sports nutrition team, overseeing the strategic nutrition direction for all student athletes on campus. Allen rejoined the University of Arizona strength and conditioning staff in June of 2023 as an assistant director of performance enhancement. Returned to Tucson after 2 years at his alma mater, West Virginia. I got so many guys here. I'm just going to quickly go over this stuff. Naylor spent 4 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals as an assistant strength and conditioning coach after joining the team in 2020. Spent the previous 2 seasons as the director of football performance at Eastern Kentucky University, following 7 seasons as the assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Michigan. And then finally, Wilson joined the Giants in 2021. He served his first 3 seasons as an assistant strength and conditioning coach before becoming the assistant director of strength and conditioning in 2024. Wilson came to East Rutherford after a 4-year stint as the director of football strength and conditioning at the University of Colorado. Prior to working for the Buffaloes, he spent 5 years as the director of strength and conditioning at the University of Maryland. So Wilson comes in, highly with the strength and conditioning. He's done a lot of that throughout his career.